the toxic behaviors of friendships, they will continue to do it and think it's okay and you can't do that. I like the way she do that right throw right. Let go, fuck, how you hurt, how you hurt. Hey girl, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi! My name is Joy. I create lifestyle content focused on becoming a better version of yourself while having fun along the way. And today we're doing a little get ready with me. I'm be doing my makeup and chit chatting with you. Make sure you got your comment section open so you can comment about whatever I'm talking about. And we're gonna get started right now. So today I'm gonna be using the Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation. I just re-up on it. This is by far my favorite foundation that has been keeping your girl down for the fall winter season. As you know though, I am going to have to find my new shade soon. Because you know when spring season comes along, you get darker. Spring and summer I should say. So the first thing I'm doing is putting my e.l.f. primer on. That's really like the bread and butter. If you know, you know. I had the Milk foundation before, but as you know, I am, well, you may not know actually, but I'm currently on a budget. I'm trying to save for several different things in my life right now. So I'm trying to be a little bit more financially conscious, money conscious, so to speak. So the fact that e.l.f. product works so well is great. I don't have to feel like I have to buy the Milk primer, you know? Because I love the Milk primer. It's good, but ain't nobody got the coins to be, you know. Now okay, so I'm a little bit nervous because this is my first get ready with me. So please let me know if you enjoyed it. You asked for it, I'm giving it to you, so please be kind. Please be kind. So I'm going to be doing my brows first. I am using the Sephora Collection brow pencil. This is by far my favorite brow pencil. And I always do my brows first. First and foremost, a little bit about me. As you know, my name is Joyce, but everyone calls me Joy, including you. I grew up, born and raised in New York. I'm a Bronx girly through and through, BX all day. Full-time student studying psychology currently. I am looking to get my master's, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do clinical work first or if I want to do full-fledged like counseling or specifically work with mental health. So we're gonna see about that because I am interested in the clinical research side, which I never even thought I would be, but being in class and really understanding like the science of it all, I should say, I've gotten fairly interested in it. So we'll see how that pans out. Spring semester has been kicking my butt. It's so much has been happening, honestly, and it's been challenging me mentally. Like mentally, wow, like I did not expect this semester to go the way it's been going. So I'm just honestly trying to stay motivated and not quit because it's really been crazy. Like I didn't even tell you. So I ended up dropping a class. Originally I had 5 classes and I ended up dropping 1. So this is what happened. The class was like called organizational change, and basically the whole entire class was going to be group projects. So I was going to be working in groups for the entire duration of the class, meaning different people, different assignments, yeah. So the very first assignment was going to be us watching a movie and then structuring our presentation around what happened in the movie. Now I already picked the movie. Dang, it's not even coming out. I already picked the movie I wanted, and all we had to do, even though we didn't know anybody, we just had to pick the day we wanted to present. I picked the 15th. I was like, okay, cool. So the first day of class, well, the first day I got to class, I should say, that we had class. Why is this not working? Uh-oh. Glitching already? That's not. This is brand new. It should not be having issues. Alright. You see how that match? It matches so perfectly. I gotta really appreciate that. So yeah. So we were paired by the dates that we picked. And I only had one partner because it was a 2-partner project. So the guy that I was partnered with, we saw each other in class. By the end of class, I was hoping we was going to talk, but the dude jetted out of class. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll just text him or whatever. Text him, say, hey, let's figure out what days we could meet so that way we can be able to, you know, do the assignment. So I text him. I didn't hear back from him until a week later. I was really confused because I was just like, dude, we are actually like first. Like the date that I picked was like maybe at that time it was like 3 weeks away. So we don't really have that much time, especially because you have other classes and other assignments. So I'm just like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, we need to get this done. Like, you're not answering me. So I finally hit the professor up because I told myself one thing I'm not going to do is allow my grades to slip because of somebody else. I already didn't want to do the class because it was a group project filled class. I'm not good with groups. There's always somebody who's dodging the project and then you end up doing all the work. So I simply wrote the professor. I would say, hey, my partner's not answering. I know my date for presenting is coming soon. Is it all right if I could do the project by myself or switch partners? So he was like, oh, let me reach out to him first before you do that. Don't start the project. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not going to start the project. I'll focus on my other classes. Professor hits him up. He don't answer the professor. Kid you not, it was like almost a week after he hits the professor up, basically during class time, and says he's gonna hit me up. So he finally hit me up. Before even that, I asked the professor twice, can I please switch partners? Like, this guy is not answering. He's being very rude, very blatant, and I don't have time. Because at first he was like, oh, this is only going to take 2 hours. It's going to be done. We don't have to worry about it. And I'm like, what are you talking? I was like, first of all, from my knowledge, because I've done presentations before, it takes longer than 2 hours because you're answering questions. You got to watch a movie. So you're rewatching the movie to answer the questions. And then on top of that, you're making a PowerPoint/presentation. You cannot read off of the slides. So you have to also practice what you're going to say. And since it's a team, you got to practice what each other is going to say. So no, it's not going to take 2 hours, but that's what you want to say. So I'm still getting around. So I write the professor one last time. I was like, listen, I'm a single mom. I am in school. I'm working. I really don't have time to be chasing somebody who does not want to do the work. I prefer to be in another group or do the project by myself at this point. So right now I'm going to go ahead and use my e.l.f. Mist and setting spray. Honestly, the e.l.f. setting spray and the Milani Make It Last setting spray are my two setting sprays, my two favorite affordable setting sprays, I should say, because I have not tried a more expensive one. And I am going to wait on that. It is okay. They do the job for me. So like I was saying, I basically told him what was going on in my life. And I'm like, I don't have time for this. So I would prefer to be in a class. And he switched the script on me and was like, oh, I think you should just give it a chance. He seems like he wants to work. What are you talking about? I told you he didn't text me or message me in a long time. He was like, oh, I know people don't like group projects, but I really think you guys could work it out, There's no working it out. It's been weeks. I've been trying to get this man to meet up with me, to even text me back. And when he finally texted me back during your class, you want to blow up my phone as if I ain't got nothing else in my life. I got to drop it for him. And the thing that made it crazy was that the dude had the nerve to be like, oh, I'm running 2 businesses. Yeah, I'm busy. I don't You're not the only one with a life. And I'm sorry, if you're running 2 businesses, this is just my tea. You should be better at communication, because if I understand correctly, communication is a big deal when it comes to running businesses. Like, that's number one. If you ain't got communication in the business, how your business gonna survive? I'm like, dude, I don't got time for this. So I literally went to one of my advisors and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about dropping this class. Because at this point, why am I in a class that is literally making me more stressed out when I already have other classes like applied statistics? Baby, that class is crazy. So I ended up just dropping the class. And what kills me the most is that I let the professor know too. I was like, hey, just to let you know, I'm going to drop the class. It was nothing with you or the class. This dynamic just does not work for me. And I need to do what's best for me. And he was like, oh, you don't have to do that. I could pair you with somebody else. Sir, I asked you that 3 emails ago. 3 emails ago, I asked you that. It's too late. It's too late. And I don't know if it's because I'm a woman and I'm trying to do it. I'm black. Honestly, I don't know. But I feel like there should have been more advocacy from my professor for me as a student. If I'm saying I'm having problems with another student, you should hear me when I say that. You know, like, you don't know what somebody else is dealing with mentally, so for you to not advocate for your student and literally see what's going on and say, you know what, you can either do the project by yourself or somebody else. But yeah, right now classes, I've finished my midterms. I am entering the final week. So we have like 3 weeks of school left. We got spring break. Our spring break was so late, crazy late. I honestly don't know why it was late. I don't know why it was this late. Everybody I knew was in Miami. Let me stop. I don't know nobody in Miami. Let me stop. But a lot of people I knew had their spring break in March. So it's crazy. Mine's in April, but whatever. So right now I'm going to be gearing up for the final weeks of classes and then preparing for finals. And then it's summer, baby. Summer, baby. Summer. I'm trying to go to Miami. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm trying to go to Miami at least once this summer. So we gonna see. We gonna see. Life has been lifing. Oh my God, so much has happened in the world. I don't even know if I want to talk about it. Let's start off with the bridge collapsing. I already had a fear of bridges. Like every time I drive over a bridge, not me driving, somebody else driving, I'm in the passenger seat, I pray, because I've actually had, keep this between me and you, I've actually had dreams of me falling off a bridge, bro. Like in the car, falling off a bridge, and I in the car praying, calling Jesus' name every single time. And it scares me. So to see that happen in the middle of the night, I was like, oh my God, Jesus, please be with them. Please, Lord, be with them. Because that's a scary thought. You're on your way home. You're on your way back from like work or whatever the case may be. Or you got kids in the middle of the night because you're going somewhere. That's scary. And for it to... I just want to know what was happening on... what was happening on the actual boat that people did not see it coming. Like, I understand it was dark, it was nighttime, but girl, there's no way you didn't see what was happening. Like, I don't know. That whole thing was so scary, and I just pray for the families and stuff, but this is why, like, I feel like it just triggered my fear even more, because the way it fell was just too much for me. It was too much. So I know they're probably going to investigate that whole situation and that bridge, Lord Jesus. Then today, there was an earthquake in New York for the first time. I didn't even feel it because coincidentally enough, I actually skipped school. Don't you even judge me. I skipped school because I mentally needed a break, and I just like, it was just a lot going on mentally this week. And I was like, you know what? We're just going to take the day off. And I'm glad I did, because I don't know where that earthquake was. I don't know how heavy it was. I know I didn't feel it because I was on a higher number floor, but the alert came on, and then I saw the memes and stuff. I was like, there was an earthquake? That's crazy. I'm just happy, and I pray for anybody who did feel it, like nothing bad happened. I mean, they would have reported if it was like something bad happened, but my friend told me that just means another one is going to happen bigger, and I'm praying it's not. I'm praying it's really not, because he said it was 2, and whenever it's 2, that means a bigger one is coming. I'm just like, Lord, please no. But the thing that I don't get with people, they always scream, end of the world, end of the world, and I'm like, not to be the bearer of bad news, but if it was the end of the world, you wouldn't know. It would just happen. So y'all need to stop scaring people like that. When things happen, you just shout out end of the world, end of the world. Like, you don't do that to people. Mentally, you can't do that. That just triggers people, and you don't know what's happening in their life for you to trigger them the way you just triggered them. You know, you gotta be careful with saying end of the world stuff like that. How many times have we heard end of the world, end of the world? I remember Y2K. I was a baby. I heard stories, but I know the Y2K thing was big. People was like, oh, once it hit 2000, we all gonna be dead, da 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 da, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. Like, we've had more blackouts randomly than we did end of the world stuff. So you gotta be careful with that, you know? Like, I don't know. I don't play with end of the world stuff. I don't. So one big major thing that's been happening in my life is the loss of friendships. I've lost almost every single person I've ever called a friend, which I think is crazy, because now that I'm in my 30s and I'm evaluating friendships, I realize, like, I really truly want people who want to be around me, and to know that I spent years just wanting people to care about me, love me, want to hang out with me, spend time with me. Like, that's actually like crazy, right? Because it's like, why am I begging for someone to want to hang out with me? And I think that's where the people pleasing come from. Definitely from my family too, the people pleasing. because I grew up in a African household. My mom is Liberian. Like, if you have African parents, like legit, like they were born and raised in a state in Africa, then you know, like, the roughness of the talking, like the lack of love. Now, not every family is like this, but most majority is very lackluster with showing love. It's more judgment. So, like, I grew up literally trying to please and be good and stuff like that. So, and that just rolled onto friendship, and I realized I was doing things to appease people, but I didn't really have friends. Like, and I always wondered why, like, nobody want to hang out with me. I would always be the one reaching out, and I realized I don't want that anymore, you know. And it took me a long time to get to the point where I'm okay with not begging for friendships, if that makes sense, and just allowing friendships to happen versus me. Basically, I was like doing things for people, like offering like help whenever they needed help. And it's just, like I'm gonna be very vulnerable here. I always wanted to be wanted. And I think it is because of how I grew up. Even in high school, like, it was definitely not cool to be African. I would get either the inappropriate comments about my lips, or people would talk about me just because I wore certain things, which was weird in itself because I didn't even know too much about clothes. I just knew I liked what I liked. I remember in high school, somebody called me, no, was it high school or junior high? I think it was junior high. Somebody accused me of being a lesbian because of the boots I wore. Yup, they straight up said I was a lesbian. And at the time, I didn't even know what a lesbian was. That's the crazy part. How you calling somebody a lesbian, but they don't even know what's a lesbian, you know? And I didn't even think to ask my mom. I probably didn't, because I was probably going to be yelled at like, it's always been hard for me to make friends, and like, I was never popular in school, and I was never part of the it crowd, so it made it even more like, you know, like, I always had like a one or two friends, like one or two. I knew people, but I didn't have that much friends. And then whenever I was in a friendship, it was always with one girl, and that girl would be the one everybody liked, and I would just be that friend of that girl, you know? I've come a long way with friendships, and in the past 3 years, I feel like I've done my best to just unlearn the toxic behaviors of friendships and learn how to love myself and set up boundaries, so that way I don't fall into these backward friendships. Because I think what it is too is that people get familiar with you, and when you let something, it's just like a relationship. When you let one thing slide, they will continue to do it and think it's okay. You can't do that even in friendship. I don't care how cool we are. If I don't like something and I'm telling you, hey, I don't like it, respect that. Respect that. If you can't, bye-bye. Like, I'm not about to do this, because if I'm gonna cut off a man who disrespects me, why would I not cut off an individual? Like, if I say I don't like it, I don't like it. Understand that and hear me when I say that. And if you're really my friend, you're gonna respect me. Plain and simple. So my advice for friendships is definitely let it come, but don't sit on the sidelines. Like, in order to make friends, you have to put yourself out there. You have to go places. You have to do things. And a lot of times you have to do it by yourself, because you're not gonna meet friends if you go with somebody. Like, let's be honest. Like, the whole point of going somewhere without somebody is to talk to somebody new. If you go with a group, what happens? You stick with that group. So my goal this year is to do more things alone as an effort to not only learn about myself, but to make new friends, to learn new things, to just grow in general as an individual. And I'm super excited because I do plan on making it like a series. I want to call it like maybe doing things alone, or alone adventures. I don't know if that's corny. Let me know. I don't know. But I actually already started on my TikTok, which is funny because I didn't think of it as anything till I saw how many people actually responded to it. So I definitely want to do more of it and share, just to encourage you and others to just go outside, do things by yourself. It's okay. You're going to meet people. You're going to learn new things. And you might just surprise yourself about what you learn about yourself. So you might as well. You might as well, girl. The concealer that I use is my old and faithful girl L6. Why do I keep talking with that spray? The 16 Camo Elf Concealer. That's my tried true baby blue. Okay, that's my girl right there. I like the way she do that right there, right. Look how you heard. Y'all remember? You remember that song? That was my song. Remember that song? That was my song. But yeah, so Friendships, especially as an adult, is definitely hard, but I try to think of it like a little kid. Like, literally all little kids do is go up to each other with their toy or game and start playing. Sometimes you gotta be like a child and do things similarly. You get what I'm saying? And let's be honest, we can feel the energy when somebody wanna like chit chat with you and they're liking the conversations, and you can tell when somebody don't wanna talk to you, don't wanna have a conversation, very into the, like, be for real with yourself. Do not force yourself on anyone, but don't shy away from that experience because it makes you tougher as an individual when it comes to dealing with rejection. I know time and time again you've heard people say date yourself, but seriously, take the time to date yourself. Like, you're doing yourself a disservice by not going out and exploring things on your own, seeing how you feel, you know, trying things new out, even learning about yourself. You're doing yourself a disservice. So please, 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 if you are single, take the time to take yourself out. And if you are in a relationship, still do solo dates, and please make sure you're dating each other, even if it's once a week or every other week. Even if you're on a budget, there are so many free things you could do. Museums, park dates, whatever the case may be, just do it, okay? Like I said before, you only have one life to live, and from the way things are looking, it's important for you to start living it now, because we don't know how many days we have left on this earth, and God forbid anything happens. Baby, I want to say I lived my life. I lived my life. Okay, I'm at a point right now where I'm decentering men. I've been hearing this term around a lot, and for me it means something different. So I know the narrative is decentering men, not making them your whole world, but I look at it differently. It's not only just decentering men, because you want to make sure you still have a healthy viewpoint when it comes to men, because as a person that got hurt so much, you can't hold on to that hurt. So when the right person comes along, it's harder to let them in. You heard that thing? That's how you know it's hard. It's harder to let that person in because you're still holding on to the hurt and the pain somebody did for you. So you gotta find a balance. Decentering men for me is not making no man, no matter who he is, no matter where he coming from, no matter what he do to me, the center of my world. Because at the end of the day, the same way that man walked into my life, he could walk out. It's very important for me to build my foundation. It's very important for me to follow my dreams. It's very important to raise my daughter right. It's very important to do all these things. So decentering men is just make sure I'm not allowing my worth to be defined by them, the way I dress to be defined by them, the way my mind is, the way I wear my hair, whatever the case may be. Like, it's nice to have somebody admire you, but I'm not doing things for you. I'm doing things for me to make me happy. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. That is business. And I think that goes across the board. Don't make no one the center of your universe. Honestly, the only person that needs to be in your heart and your whole is the Lord. Okay, the Lord needs to be number one in your life, whether you believe it or you don't believe. I'm just saying, because when it comes down to it, when you take away everything, at the end of the day, something bad happens. You're going to find yourself on your knees and praying, and ain't nothing wrong with that. We all going to come to terms at that point. And if you don't, I still pray for you. I still love you, because at the end of the day, God loves you. But you should not be making nobody the center of your universe. No one, because they can leave your life at any point in time. Any point. Make no one your center. Even your children. Your children can leave you too. You birthed them and they still leave you. So put yourself first. Put yourself first, baby. I'm really at a point in my life where I truly just want to focus on myself and really grow. Really run towards the goals that I want to achieve, and really just fight for the things that I really want, because I'm tired of telling myself I want this, I want that, and yet I'm not putting in the real work. Like, I'm just lollygagging, to be honest. It's at the end of the day, you could want something so bad, but if you're not putting in the work, you got nobody to blame but yourself. So I'm at a point where I'm like, now, like, oh, I want to be a full-time YouTuber. Oh, I want to have my own businesses. Oh, I want to lose weight. Oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. But I'm not making the steps to do it. Whose fault is that? That's mine. So I gotta, show up and show out. Because at the end of the day, you can't keep playing victim. You just can't. You can't blame it on nobody but yourself. If you constantly see yourself not taking action in your life, being the same thing every year, is but so much you can keep saying life keep happening. No, bruh. Life is always going to happen. It's your choice whether or not you're going to let life get in the way, or if you're going to do something about it. I remember somebody told me one time, nobody's coming to save you. And that is what made me make the decision to go back to school, because I had to hear that hard truth. Like, I have my Lord Jesus Christ, but he already died on the cross for me. He saved me. So what am I supposed to be doing right now? I'm supposed to be making steps because the things are out there for me. I just got to get up and go get it. Because no one said if I have faith and if I believe in God, that means I'll stop working. No, that means the work starts even more. So I have 2 beauty marks here and here. Whenever I wear makeup, they basically just like get covered. So I like to use the eyeliner to make them pop back up, you know, to distinguish them a little bit. By far, this is my favorite blush. As you can see, it is almost gone. Almost gone. I don't even remember where I bought this from. So I'm going to have to see if I can get it from somewhere else. Ooh, maybe on their website, but it's like my favorite. It's literally the only blush I use right now because it's powder. I like the cream blushes, but I don't know, I just feel like sometimes they're too messy. I don't know, and I don't like them really on my brushes. Like sponges, yes. Brushes, no. And honestly, I just feel like it's better with finger when it comes to cream blushes. So yeah, it actually took me a long time to like blush because I always thought I would look like a clown. Again, limited beliefs, growing up, not loving yourself. These things that be in your mind be lying. Ever since I started to choose me and really, you know, get into my learning how to do my own makeup, you cannot give me away from the blush. I want to put so much on, I don't care how it looks. I love it. Alright, but that's enough. And I always do my nose. I don't know why. I never see anything on it, but remember this lash mascara? This was that Beauty Supply mascara that all the girlies used to get back in the day. I remember I had an aunt that, or is she my older cousin? I don't even know. But she used to wear makeup all the time. She used to do the lip liner. I remember her black lip liner. She will always have black lip liner. And I would just be like, oh, why she wears it, da da da. I even remember when bodysuits were in that time too. Bodysuits were in. It's crazy how fashion really just, you know, make its rounds every decade or so. Like, it's really crazy. Because I remember my other aunt or cousin, she used to wear bodysuits all the time. All the time. So I think that's interesting. But yeah, one thing I've learned throughout this whole process of just going to school and just like, you know, really becoming my own person is that at the end of the day, you have to do what makes you happy. You have to do the things that bring you joy. You have to not allow anybody or anything to stop you or push you away from the things that bring you enjoyment. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to be consistent. You have to show up. You have to make mistakes. And I think that's the biggest one most people don't want to do. Everybody wants to try and be perfect. But it's like, in order to be successful, you have to fail. Because if you're doing something for the first time, you're doing it for the first time. You don't know what you're doing. So why do you need to have all the answers? Why? The best thing you can do for yourself is make as many mistakes as possible because it's going to get you to the outcome that is success. That is going to push the product out there or get you that job that you want or help you learn the skills that you're trying to learn, build your business, grow your following. Like, the more mistakes, the better. If anything, you're going to get there quicker because you're allowing yourself to make mistakes and not judging yourself on the mistakes. Because that's another thing. I feel like we judge ourselves so harshly as if we're not made to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. I don't care who you are. Your mistakes don't define you, depending on what it is now. Because I ain't talking about, you know, God forbid you go kill somebody. I'm talking about just like you lying about something or doing something you shouldn't be doing or being lazy with your own life. You know, that's the stuff I'm talking about. Oh, so the colors I'm using the lip liner from the Sephora collection. It is Molasses, and I am using NYX Butter Gloss in Spiked Toffee, one of my favorite colors to use. It's important that you show up for yourself. It's important that you give yourself permission to make mistakes. It's important that you allow yourself to go through things even if it's hard. Have the tough conversations, you know? It's okay. The best thing you can do for yourself is go through that so you could learn and you could grow. What do we think? I love the makeup. It looks good. It looks good. It looks good. Do you like the lip color? Yes. So that wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. in my little first get ready with me. Yay. Let me know if you enjoy it. I love to do a Q&A, but I actually want questions. I don't want to just, make up a conversation. So let me know if you want to do a Q&A, and if you do, please leave questions in the comment section. Thank you. Thank you very much. Alright, so that wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, you already know, be sure to subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!